Self and sunset.
Sail in the sunset. All right. I like it. What about you?
27 years.
Okay.
My kids will take over.
Fantastic.
I'll work till I'm dead.
That's coming soon.
If you keep working like you do. I get it. What about you guys?
38 years.
38 years? And
Brothers and all the
okay. For all the owners. It should be here. Okay. For all the owners, why'd you start? Why do you want your own business? Your own boss. Perfect. Freedom. Fair? What else? What's the second one?
Hand it down to my kids.
Okay. Legacy. Create an asset. Future. Good. What else? You want more what?
Or more free time.
Time. Perfect. You're only missing one other thing. It's the key to all entrepreneurs. And money. Perfect. Every entrepreneur starts their business the same way. They have 3 objectives. More time, more money, more freedom. Do you feel like you have any of them?
Never enough.
Good answer.
That's typical with all entrepreneurs. Everyone goes after this for the same reason. I mean, why else would you want to do something like this, right? You want more time, more money, more freedom. The challenge is the ability to acquire just those things. It's setting up the infrastructure, especially in any technical trade, right? If you go to law school and get a law degree, it doesn't mean they teach you how to market. Doesn't mean they teach you how to run a business. Same thing if you are a physician. We have the same challenge there. Same thing if you have if you're a contractor. It's identical. The ability to be able to set up the infrastructure for a business, the technology, the marketing. But if you look at the key reasons why business fail, what do you think they are? The inability to what? Number one is the ability to market, to acquire a new business. Secondly is to retain it because the infrastructure is not in place in order to run it efficiently, which is neglect of existing customers, past clients, not having the infrastructure for recurring income, and so forth. So there's lots of things that play against us right out of the gate. Yes, sir?
You need to get on the Wi-Fi?
I'd love to have that as a backup just in case there's any crazy phone issues. Do you have a password for a Wi-Fi?
Write it down, yeah.
All right, I'll wait for you. So I'm going to concentrate heavily on the marketing piece, but it's also going to cover some of the infrastructure. My background, I was previously Vice President of Global Logistics and Supply Chain. I'm heavy on the operations side. I happen to run a digital marketing company, which means I have a whole bunch of salespeople and technical experts that all believe what they do is most important. So I know what you're talking about, and I live in the same environment. However, the process of setting up the infrastructure from a marketing standpoint has to tie into how you run your business as a whole. And ultimately, as an entrepreneur, we got to get back to the core. If we don't have clarity as to what we originally set out for, more time, more money, more freedom, then we make decisions or we take actions or we have lack of actions that are going to help us get there. So my business coach, he's a coach to the top 500 CEOs in the world. His name's Tony Jerry. He's always had a motto with me, and it's as simple as this. Without clarity, you cannot focus. Without focus, you cannot execute. If you don't execute, you can't win. So our ability to have clarity, not in just today, not in tomorrow, this is a bigger set of clarity. That's why I asked you, how did this start? And ultimately, what does this look like in the end? Where do you want to get to? Because we have to put in certain things. If you have a personal incentive, a personal motivation, a personal goal to be able to accomplish something, it's a lot easier to stay focused on how do you get there. You'll make decisions differently. In my own business, it's the same way. I personally have an objective, and mine is quite simple. I want the ability to choose without restriction, which means I have to identify what are the things that only I can do and get everything else off my plate as quickly as possible. That's leverage time. So when it comes to marketing, in most small businesses, it's the same. It's throwing it up against the wall, see if it sticks. It's looking to see what your competitors are doing to try and mirror and mimic them. It's asking the wrong people for the right advice. Okay? It's making wrong hiring decisions. But all of that it's hard. Being able to even choose who do you hire, how do you hire them. And then we have the innate need for speed, which causes a lot of companies to frequently quit and start over. And they keep starting over and starting over and starting over, so they're not making any progress. I call it the rocking chair syndrome, always moving, never going anywhere. And that's tough as well. So what I want to do, the goal today from a marketing standpoint, is help you come up with a series of steps that must be performed in the right order at the right time, and then perfected over time. Everything about this, the process, we call it the 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results. We have built this, modeled it, we've perfected it. We continue to allow it to evolve as technology changes, as consumer buying habits change. But hopefully by the time we're done, you guys are going to come out of here with a whole new understanding and a whole new thought process on how you make your marketing decisions, on the sequence, the logic, the strategy, and the order in which you make them. Because a lot of these things, we're literally throwing darts, and the dartboard's moving, and it's not hitting anything. And we can't afford that in our business in order to make the kind of profits that we need in order to have time, money, and freedom, in order to have the kind of automation that we need in order to have time, money, and freedom. Make sense? We good? Okay. So if I use acronyms and you don't know them, stop me. I'm going to try not to. And I live in the same world you guys do. When my technical guys start talking, my head goes thump, thump, and I go, too much. Too much. It's too much. So I'm going to try and make sure that this is just really, really clear. All right. So this document, this is really all we're going to go over. It's not a lot. It's just, web content, CRMs, conversions, online scheduling, local listings, reviews, social media, SEO, blogging, email and text marketing, pay-per-click, landing pages, video, and mobile apps, okay?
That's it? All right.
All the subtitles. It's fine.
I know, by the way, it's 12 steps and 12 stages within each step. Breathe. All right? So, step 1, that's your website. All right? That is essentially a digital version, or should be a digital version of you. It is the single sales person that works 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on your behalf. It sells for you, or it doesn't. It can find you new customers. It can service your existing customers. It can help you stay in touch with existing customers. It can educate your prospects. It can help you convert the deal or lose the deal. So when it comes to a website, first and foremost is having a standout brand. I've seen lots of logos and whatnot that are the DIY version. And I started my company with a DIY version logo and a DIY website. But in order for us to compete, it's got to be professional. So having a standout brand, something that people can capture and connect to, is important versus the DIY. Then we get into design and development. The overall design and development of a website, you have 2 audiences you have to please. The first audience is a robot. If you don't please the robot first, there will be no human eyeballs on your website unless you send them there, dragging, kicking, screaming, whatever. So we have to know that the development of a site, the coding, the infrastructure behind it, which when you guys look at a website, all you see, I'm going to grab. So I'm going to pull sites that are in development with us, and I don't know which ones are how far, but I'll pull a couple sites so you can see the difference between their existing site and a new site. And we'll see which ones, how far they are. They're not done. Okay. Easy. They must not have an existing site. And they're superior. Let me get on page. When you guys go visit a website, do you find yourself having an initial reaction when you land there? Any website? Okay. So same thing in this environment. Let's try these. We'll go further in the pipeline. So this is their current site. Right out of the gate, from a design standpoint, design is going to be more for human eyes. This is like an iceberg. What you see on the very front of the site, the design element, it's like the tip of the iceberg. What you don't see is what's behind it, which is the code. That's the development. The standards for websites as far as how they're coded, how often do you think they change? Every month. Literally every month. Now, there's some more important requirements where Google has a requirement that is you will be penalized if you don't follow it, like responsive websites. And there are some that are just coding standards for better performance and so forth. How long do you think the average entrepreneur owns their site before they replace it? Before they replace it?
1 year.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So,
As I high five you. That would be
I
awesome.
didn't say that's what we did. I said
That's what
people
they
should.
should. All right, got you.
Website thing.
Got you. So it's kind of like hiring somebody and never training them, not ever giving them one new tool, not ever giving them anything else in order to do their job, right? You'd never bring somebody on, put them in a box, just leave them sit there and say, good luck to you, man, right? Hide them in a dark room. That's what happens with websites is they get built and they get left. They just sit there and become stagnant as the world around you is changing. Now, not only is technology changing as far as search engine, the requirements, but in addition, the devices are changing, right? We're not just dealing with these. I was talking about 2 years ago. Now we have Alexa and Siri and Google Home. These new devices that people are asking for information. They're asking, Alexa, find me an air conditioner repair company. You guys know what Alexa is? You've seen her? I love her. She does all my math for me. She books my flights. I love her. She keeps me on time. Okay. So as technology changes, consumer adoption changes as well. So the very people you want to reach that are going to buy your services, they're changing faster than the businesses are keeping up with. So as consumers change, i.e., they used to go inside the system, they would say AC repair. Oh, that's fine. We'll go to New Jersey. AC repair fish kill, and they would type that in there. Then they started talking to their wrists, and then they started talking to Alexa and Google Plus and their phones instead of texting and driving, right? They're talking. Those queries are different. They'll say, Alexa, find me an air conditioner repair company in Fishkill with the best reviews. That's a really long query. Make sense? So from a design standpoint, we have, let me just get this back in order. This design where we're missing key elements. The phone number is in the lower left-hand side. No one looks over here. If you guys go to your bank, if you go to buy tickets to a game, where is all the logins? Where's the login to get into your bank? Where's the phone number at? Top right-hand corner. That's your money-making corner. So when we move things and we put them on the left-hand side and we move them from their hotspot, they're gone. That becomes an exit. Phone number is not click to call. Address isn't click to Google Maps. Here's the big one with this. Actually, I'll get to that on content. So from a design standpoint, there's tons of issues with this, tons of plugins and so forth. When you get to this site, we think about the business. This is the new version. We have who we are, what we do, where we do it, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you. All of your primary call to actions are visible without moving, right? So you guys technically operate more than one business. You operate two businesses at a minimum. You have a winter business, you have a summer business, not to be squished into one. Because consumers, when they're cold, search for heaters or furnaces, depending where you're at or where you're from. Consumers, when they're hot, search for air conditioners. The last thing we want to do is make them go in and look in a big bucket. You guys are also not selling products. You're selling solutions to issues. If you want to play the product game, I'll show you when we get to content, that's not a game you want to compete with. You don't want to compete with Home Depot and Sears and Amazon.com. Their budget is slightly larger. Okay? So we have to remember we're in a service business and our consumers have an issue. We also have to remember that they're not technical. They are not oohed and awed and wowed by seeing pictures of equipment everywhere. They're personal. So they want to know that you understand their issues when they say, my nose is freezing when I'm sitting in my room. My toes are cold in the living room when I'm trying to watch TV at night. It makes me crazy. My energy bills are too high. I've got condensation in the windows. I have mold growing. Whatever all their issues are, they have some kind of issue. They don't know if they need repair or replacement or installation or service. They have no clue. They know something's broken. They're going to come up with the most common phrase to find it. When somebody comes to your site, you have a matter of seconds. If it's an existing customer, they got to have a home. Schedule service is a great home for them. If it's a new prospect, I'll tell you, you're good. I live in that world. I'm the right one to have that one. Okay. So if it's a new prospect, I'll tell you the conversations that are going on right now at home. It is the wife saying, I want to go on vacation this year, honey. I want to go to Hawaii. And the husband going, babe, we really need to get our air conditioner fixed. This is the second year we haven't got it done. The price points are about the same. That's a real conversation. So if somebody glances at your site, if you do great at optimization and you're sitting on page 1 and you do present your company as an option, if you don't have something right out of the gate that tells them there's financing options available, she wins. They're going to Hawaii. Guarantee it. Okay, there are a tremendous amount of things that are important. People want to know, do other people trust you? No different. Google wants to know, do other people trust you? They also want to know, are you transparent, which is the social media environment. Whether you participate or not, they do. 68% of consumers will go look at your company's social media sites before they even place a call to you. 90% will go look at your reviews. We'll come back to that. So get them up front and center. Now, as we go through, you guys, yes?
What is the social media? 68%?
68%. And that was in 2016, so could be different. Next, do you have financing? Yes. Are there promotions? How can they calculate their savings for a higher efficiency system? Do you have a maintenance plan? Okay, maintenance plan, it's not just do you have a maintenance plan. Eventually you need to get to where you have a maintenance plan. It's on a recurring credit card charge and they can sign up online. That recurring income would help you get through the 70-degree weather, yes? That's solid. That's a business that's not just counting on the next sale for survival mode, right? It's also what improves the valuation of your company. So if you do ever decide to sell it, guess what they will pay more for? Customers. And a customer is not because they're in your database. A customer is because you have a credit card on file and you provide regular service. If the credit card is not on file but you provide regular service, it's worth something, not as much. All right? In addition, it's a heck of a lot easier to get an existing client to do more business with you than it is to find a new one. It's less expensive as well. Making sure that you clearly identify what it is that you do. Google loves text. People love pictures. Think of your website more like a magazine. Okay, the homepage. The inside, yes, that's for Google, who is deaf and blind. It reads Braille. No text, no go. But people, they're visual. So don't make them work hard to find what they need. Design is important. Simple containers. Who you are. What do other people think about you? Featured manufacturer. The ability to sign up for a newsletter. I would not put newsletter on here. If it was me, I would say sign up to receive special promotions only available to club members, something like that. Okay? Or offline promotions. Build your list. Build your database. Everything on your website is a matter of what do you want to sell, who do you want to sell it to, and where do you want to sell it. It's that simple. And then finally, I learned this one the hard way, and I wish somebody would have told me. Year 2 of us being in the HVAC world, I got a call from a client. He was like, Jen, turn it off. I'm like, he's not on pay-per-click. What do you want me to turn off? He's like, I don't have the staff to handle the leads. It's like, no, you're in an SEO plan and you're on page 1 of Google for 141 key phrases. I can't turn that off, darling. Oops. So when it comes to hiring, your doors always need to be open. You may not be hiring, but please look like it. Collect resumes constantly. You need a database of resumes, so that is never an issue. In order for you to be able to scale, you need to not wait until you need to. In order to start thinking about it, it needs to be part of your standard core business process so that when time comes, you're not trying to scale back. It's not an issue. You don't want it in the fire bucket. You want it in the maintenance mode bucket. Make sense? All right. Small things that are required by Google. You got to have your address at the bottom of your website. It has to be in the lower container. It's called a footer container. Got to have your phone number. It has to be click to call. Anywhere you have a phone number on that site, if somebody taps that phone number, you guys have been to a website, tried to tap the phone number, and you can't click it, right? If you have a sunroof, you just want one of these. Hey, click to call. Little things. We're in a technical world. We've got to make sure that that's in place. Anything you can do to keep a question from having to offer or ask a question. Do you have financing? Yes, we have financing. Do you accept check, Visa, MasterCard? Yes, we accept all of these. Do you have a maintenance program? Yes, we do that. Can we schedule an appointment with you online? Yes, you can do that. Just make it easy for your consumers. All right, so from a design standpoint, that's design. From a development standpoint, the core code behind any website, you're looking at a maximum of 18 to 24 months today. 2 years from now, it'll be a different conversation because technology continues to advance faster the further we afford, right? If we look at technology and its rate of advancement, it's like this. In this tiny little window. Small advancements over a long period of time here, and now it's so fast, it's ridiculous. In any industry that's not contractors, they don't buy websites. They have a budget, and they have a process called growth-driven designs. Every month, their website is tweaked and modified and changed, and the code is replaced and those things, and it stays intact, and it works. In a traditional, where you don't have a budget for ongoing website development and changes and modifications to code and design and content and layout, then you have a website that's got to get replaced a minimum of every 18 to 24 months. So the way we do it, we have a refresh plan, and everybody gets a new website every 18 to 24 months. That timeline will have to start sooner, depending on where you are. So if we look at website branding and design, 1 through 6, professional logo and design, check here. Professional design and development, maintenance plan, financing plan, online scheduling system, and chat. This is missing the next one, and I can't remember what it is. I'll find it for you. Those are the only things you need to do in the beginning. You're not going to get to the next ones yet. Those go on hold. So online ordering, seasonal design and changeouts, referral rewards programs, and ERP integration. Right? That is going to be like Payzerware. That's going to be your operations side of the business that's connected to your website. So your database of customers, they can access their billing, they can access all that. So if you have Payzer, that's the easiest one for us to integrate right out of the gate. It's not anything complicated. All right. A/B variant testing means that you have a website where the design changes. We create 2 different designs and we test, say, in 2 different cities, and whichever design works better, we modify it, and we modify it. We keep doing that. Probably not there yet. And conversion rate optimization is once you're ranking on page 1 of Google for 100 phrases, we want to be able to make the website convert more leads and opportunities, and that requires a lot of testing and changes and modifications. So you're trying to increase the opportunity for the assets you have. So are we good on the web piece? Any questions on the website design and development? No? All right, next. I got to hurry up. Look at the time. So content. Here's how this works. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? And who do you want to sell it to? That's your starting point. So you guys would actually, home, about us, contact us, those are the basics. Everybody has that. Next, 1 page per service. So you'll notice on here for air conditioning, we have AC installation, AC service, maintenance, repair, replacement. Now they're missing 2 key services. They don't have a page yet for AC inspection, and they don't have a page for AC tune-up. So in our mind, we're thinking Installation and replace, and they don't have replace. Oh yeah, they do. So in our mind, we may be thinking installation replacement's the same thing. Well, it's not if the consumer search is different and you have one page on your website and not the other page. Repair and service may technically be the same thing, but if a customer or prospect searches for AC repair in this particular city and you don't have a page that says AC repair in this particular city, you can't even play that game. So the way you think about a website and search engine optimization is when you go to Google and you do a search, it opens up a big file drawer. And when that file drawer opens, there's a whole bunch of pieces of paper in it, right? So what city am I in right now?
West Dallas.
West Dallas?
West Dallas. A-L-L.
Did you think we said West Dallas?
I was like, where did I go? I feel like I can't remember. My travel schedule's messing me. Yes. Okay, so think about Google like this. There's a file drawer. We just said, this is what I want, and Google opened this big file drawer. And there's a bunch of pieces of paper inside the drawer. In fact, there's 191,000 pieces of paper in that drawer. If I change this to service, there is 874,000 pieces of paper in that drawer. If I change this to installation, there is now 613,000 pieces of paper in that drawer. If I change this to, why do you think I'm looking, or why do you think I did a search by inspection? Any thoughts? Who looks for an AC inspections?
Well, they tune-ups too.
Realtors. Realtors and inspectors. They will never go in there and say AC service or anything else. They're going to buy a house. They're representing their client. The inspector flagged the air conditioning and heating system on the inspection report. They go online. They search for AC inspection, heater inspection, furnace inspection, because it says you're going to need to get your air conditioning inspection and submit the changes to underwriting in order to clear this condition to close. It says it in words, so they just mirror that. That's what they know, right? But it's also one of the biggest missed opportunities for most contractors because they got other things they need to do first. 1.4 million pages in that drawer. So when you look at the front of Google, we call these the 3Gs to leads. There's only 3 ways to make money on the front of Google. Technically, we're not even to marketing yet.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So if there aren't many people putting that in, how did you come up with 1,450,000 when?
So that's not number of searches. So see these down here? That's 1 of 1.4 million, 2 of 1.4 million, 3, 4. They're pages. Those are not searches. Those are pages in the drawer. Okay? So in order for you to make any money, you have 3 ways to make money on the internet. 1, you need to be in the top 5 of this number. That's number 1. Number 2, and when I say top 5, I mean organically, which is down here. Okay? The second option is you pay tooth and nail for it through pay-per-click, and you're up here. And this is not always consistent. There's a time and a place for this, which I'll explain, but you'll see where it is on the list. It's number 10. And this is the third way you can make money, but only in the city you physically have an office in. And there's a bunch of criteria to show up in this list. And this is not permanent. If I look for AC Repair Sacramento, let's see. Oh, they put it back. That's amazing. So Google tested, actually removed pay-per-click and removed Google Maps from this search result for almost 6.5 months. This is the first time I've seen them back. They changed it with a different version of pay-per-click for contractors. So everybody that was counting on pay-per-click and their Google Map or Google Business Listing account, their phone calls stopped while Google tested something, and now their phone calls will come back in if they kept working on it. So you want to be careful, which is why you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket ever in a marketing position. You want to make sure you spread your wings. So you'll notice here, there's 637,000 pages in this drawer. So you guys seen Bruce Almighty, right? Okay. Remember when God's in the warehouse and he's got the filing cabinet? He's like, anything you've ever said, anything you've ever done, it's in this drawer. Drawer like flies across. Okay. Picture that every time somebody does a search. And you on your website have a page that Google can file. Let's say that I have a page on my website called Our Services. You are competing with the, how many?
3,810,000,000.
Probably not great. How about if I have a page on my website called, because Google works the same. How many here?
It's a lot.
Hey? How about something no one searches for but you guys? Consumers don't look for cooling. Like a verb. They don't.
Dictionary.
You know, they don't look for that. That's not a good page on a site. Or this awesome page. So, so when you have something you need to file in this drawer, you're only given just like a file cabinet. So you have a green hanging folder with a little piece of space. You have a manila envelope with a little label space, right? Well, you can't put a title on a manila folder or a green hanging folder that's this long, right? So think about it that way. The title we're able to tell Google, which is from here to here, we only have 41 characters available. You get one service, one location, unless you have a really tiny city in the number of characters. Okay? Here to here. The description, which is like a little intro to what the page is about, we get from here to here, 141 characters. And the content on the page has to be in alignment. So this is one of our clients. So you'll see here, this page is about air conditioning installation and service, energy audit service. And this is their homepage showing up. And you'll see Google highlights air conditioning and Sacramento in the description because those are the labels we give Google and say, hey, this is what this page is about, file it. Imagine if we had a page that said heating, air conditioning, indoor air quality, installation, service, repair, and maintenance. How would you hand that piece of paper or that file to a receptionist and say, do me a favor, file this so they can find it? You'd be like, Google's the same, okay? So every page on your site, if you want to sell the service and where you want to sell the service, you got to have a page to put in the drawer, which means you got to have content. It is the least budgeted for, most important part of every marketing project. It is the one thing everyone skips. And there are thousands of SEO companies that will gladly take your money and not tell you, A, your website can't be optimized because the code is bad, and B, your website can't be optimized because there's nothing to optimize. You don't own the content. There's no content on there for what you sell or where you sell it or who you sell it to, commercial, residential, manufactured homes, and so forth. Make sense? Yes? Fantastic. So when you get to this site, you guys have a junk drawer in your kitchen? Okay. All right. So this page right here, this is the first thing that we're telling Google. This is the green hanging folder label. This is the second. That's the manila envelope. And then your heading inside here. That's third. So this page is telling Google, hey, come check out about. This page is come check out contact. This page is come check out reviews. There's zero value to the whole website. None. They will forever work for the site instead of the site working for them. Make sense? Same thing with this one. So, let me back up. I had one of your sites up. All right, next. So we're going to have to.
Get out of here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No. Are you okay with that? You are? Okay. All right. I'm going to come back to that in 1 second. Okay. Next one. Okay. So on here, guys, all I covered was one page per service. But people also look by product. They'll go online and they'll say Nest air conditioner replacement. Did you get that? That's
Next air
massive.
conditioner.
Nest.
Yes.
It's like West Dallas.
We see it on when they have to put in on web forms, we watch all the leads come in so we can get an idea of how consumers talk and what they search for and what they think. And they'll say, do you have someone who can replace my Nest air conditioning system? Okay. So they also look by brand though. So they will, not as prevalent as AC repair, blank, AC service, AC tune-up, AC maintenance, AC replacement, and so forth. Those are your primaries. Your secondaries are air conditioner installation, air conditioner replacement, air conditioner service, air conditioner maintenance, air conditioner tune-up, air conditioner, so forth. Your third is air conditioning service, air conditioning maintenance. The math is starting to add up, right? Each one of these is a funnel that can make you money. If you own it, they will come. That's how that works. Okay? If Joe's looking for that in that city, and your website is an option for that service in that city, then you got an option to present. Maybe. I'll come back to the next one. So next, no website should be without a CRM system and online scheduling system. I ask every single dealer, show me your database. What do you guys have? And they always want to go to QuickBooks. No. I don't want a list of your customers. I want a list of your database. Because every single connection and contact has value. If you ask me to install an air conditioning system, I give you a quote and I lose the bid. Do I have any value in him later? Okay, well, I have dealers that I've coached to go back to him and say, I know you guys didn't move forward with us, but I'd be happy to come out and do a post-installation inspection on your system just to make sure it's a big investment. Want to make sure your family's safe as well. Would you mind if we did that? It's absolutely free. They went out to this, and this is in 70, this is when they got trucks in the driveway. So they don't have anything to do right then. Okay, so they went out, did an inspection, and then said, well, you know, this is a really big investment. Did you guys sign on to a maintenance plan? No. Well, we have a maintenance plan. These are some of the things that are done. Your time is valuable. I know you guys don't want to deal with changing out filters. And you know what? We'll even change batteries in your smoke detectors. And they sign maintenance plans like crazy. On monthly subscriptions, credit cards are auto-billed. All they do is show up, and they plan all their maintenances during spring and fall. No one is wondering what they're going to do if the weather's not cooperating. Make sense? Okay. That's an investment in long-term business. Now, let's say that you requested a quote for a new system and you just didn't buy. No clue why I didn't buy. So you do. Is that important? Another reason is contacting him and letting him to know. So first, did you guys wind up moving forward with that air conditioning system? Okay, so so the next one is pretty simple. I'm guessing you guys got to go to Hawaii instead, right? Did you know we have a killer financing program? We've been putting people, I just put somebody into a new system. They were able to get into it for blank per month, and we had a great rebate that came from the manufacturer, and oh, by the way, ... So that data is important. Leads, opportunities, as well as customer data needs to be in one place. In addition to that, are you guys open 24/7? Yes? 24/7? 24/7? So, business hours are missing from here. That's going to hurt your rankings. Okay? Two things go on with this. Either no business hours are in here. Do you guys even own this? Okay, so it's halfway empty. It's halfway empty. This is a moneymaker if done right, your Google business listings. Okay, and that's going to be in number 4. But your operating hours, it's a problem. So in addition to that, did I have Arctic? You guys don't have a... okay, so Arctic, right? Is that yours?
Yeah, I think so.
So here's the challenge. If my mom refers me to contact you and I go search up your company name, if it's 601, I'm going to call somebody else. Didn't even get the shot. Forget about everything else. So when do you guys personally have time to be able to take care of your personal business for your own homes? Your dads. You guys are dads,
I pay
homeowners.
somebody to do it.
When is it?
I don't do it. I
When
pay
do
somebody to do it.
But when do you even have time to find them? Is it Monday through Friday, 9 to 5?
No.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. So, very important. The majority of consumers are taking care of their personal lives after hours. You're part of their personal life list. You're not on their agenda for their daily activities Monday through Friday. Okay, so those are exits. Step one of our analysis problem is we got to go through and figure out what is every single exit that could have somebody derailed before you even had an opportunity. That's a big one, your hours. So let's say that you do have specialty. No, that's my parents. Specialty Air Inc. J. I remember all these websites. So at the bottom of this, every single website, let me pull this one too and this one. At the bottom of this, these guys are in development, so they're starting off the CRM system. The first one is a lead capture form. So you'll notice every single one of our websites has this on here. I'm going to shrink this down to normal size. Okay, this is a CRM system. A couple benefits to that. And step one is making sure if somebody fills this form out, you never want a form on your website where a consumer or somebody is able to inject content into your database. And this is without getting too nerdy. You guys have seen the forms that are plastered on your website. That is the quickest way to kill your entire asset or to cause major problems for other people and not know it, because code hackers can inject code into forms and you can spread viruses like wildfire and would never know it. So no web forms on websites. They need to go into a separate data. Your website's too big of an asset, too expensive to risk that, especially if you have an older site or one that's not being updated properly. Then it's even worse because it becomes more of a vulnerability. Secondly, if you have leads or contact forms that are coming in and they're going to somebody's email account, I'm guessing they never get to a database. They can't get sifted, tagged, sorted, and used. They don't get imported into an email marketing campaign or a text marketing campaign where they actually have any value to your business over the long run. So make it easy on yourself. Having a CRM system will allow somebody to go to your site. They can fill in their information. You can even move to the next step, which is scheduling. So we can allow them to schedule time with you. And this is sales appointments, not dispatching. Sales side of the business, operation side of the business. So step one, maybe they can go to your site. This is what you guys will do with us if you want to schedule time. And you can choose a person. For you guys, it'll more or less be a service. And once you have that service, you can choose available times. And all this means is you're going to collect their data and you're going to call them at noon and have a 15-minute phone conversation about installing a new system. Okay, so the sales side of the business, that's the next step. So first step, so we're on step number 3, and we're on number 1 is having the lead forms on there so that you build a database. Number 2 is allowing people to book with you online. So if it's midnight and they're like, oh, it's on that list, I got to schedule this, they can go in, schedule an appointment, and they know that they have an appointment tomorrow at noon just to talk. Okay? Now, inside the back office of this system, you can grow into everything else. Number 1 is the system will automatically do automated reminders for you. It'll remind you, it'll remind the customer you have an appointment. So these are all the appointment request messages and stuff that come in on a regular basis. Once an appointment is set, this system will do all the reminders, let everybody know, you'll have less no-shows. Okay, next thing, you have all of your contacts, leads, and opportunities in one database. You can tag them, you can export them, and you can import them into an email marketing system, into another database, into a card reporting system. In addition to that, later on, as you get through these steps, you can do things like send a quick text message to everybody in the system and say, hey, you guys, the season's winding down. As a reminder, over the next month and a half, we'll be doing tune-ups and inspections, or heard air conditioning rejuvenations. I've heard lots of new terminology. And for our existing database, we're giving you a special offer if you sign up and reserve your spot now. So you can actually plan in advance for spring and fall. In addition to that, you can use a system to send quick text messages to remind them to change their filters and say, oh, by the way, if it's a nasty job, if you don't want to do it, you can sign up for a maintenance plan. So that data is valuable. Being able to send a text or an email in a matter of seconds, important. Make sense? Next, local listings. Without going too far into this, let me see if I can find one account's local listing report real quick. And you guys remember when our parents would say, okay, so that's hopefully going to be on here. If they're not in the yellow pages, they're not a real business. You remember that? Okay. All right. So in our world now, there are 70 primary. Awesome. Okay. First one. There are 70 primary local listings websites. I'm just pulling up a random client of ours. I'm not going to be able to do that because we've already done there. So 70 local listings. This would be city pages, yellow pages, white pages, Google, Bing, Yahoo, Merchant Circle. All of these are local business listings. We need to run a report on each one of your businesses and see how many errors there are. And then you need, somebody needs to monitor them. Well, let me back up. They have to be accurate. When Google is evaluating your company online, one of the things it's looking at is how are you listed on all these sites. If there's discrepancies in phone numbers, in the company name structure, and addresses, and so forth, you're no matter what you spend anywhere else, you're getting pennies on the dollar because you have a problem that hasn't been resolved first. So these local listings, all 70 have to be accurate. Correct phone number, correct address, and so forth. In addition to that, they need to be monitored because one of the best scams out there is on your local listings report. Let's say you were doing 10 million in annual sales and we've got a company that's doing $250,000 in sales. And one of the ways they want to grow their business is they're going to go set up local listings using your brand, your company name, technically your marketing dollars, your address, and their phone number. And that happens every day. Every day we find them. Every day. So we monitor all 70 of those local listings and we suppress those duplicate listings. We know about them the second they happen and we suppress and push them back and say they're not legal. Those are not correct. In addition, you guys need to know if you have reviews that are posted immediately on any site. Why? You got to reply. You have to respond. I mean, you got to respond to every review, good, bad, or indifferent. You have to respond. You have to encourage good behavior and you have to allow the idiots to shine. Most of the negative reviews, it's usually when you guys try and over-deliver or you guys give away a whole bunch of stuff and then their expectations continue to rise and rise and rise. They have unreasonable expectations. We try and eliminate some negative reviews with this, and we've been able to make a big dent in that. We manage tens of thousands of local listings for HVAC contractors, and one of the reasons for negative reviews is they came out, all they did was change a battery on a thermostat and they tried to charge me blank. Or all they did was flip a breaker switch and they tried to charge me blank. That irks people. They don't care about your gas. They don't care about your time. They don't care you could have been doing an installation during the same time block. They don't care. So we built a troubleshooting system. The troubleshooting system, we've literally seen a customer submit, not one, many. They submit a request for an appointment and then within an hour, we'll see them submit a cancellation to that appointment request, and they'll say, I was able to use the troubleshooting system on your website and fix it. I'll definitely bookmark your website and use it again. So first thing is getting somebody to bookmark an HVAC site is like pulling teeth. That's very hard. Secondly, you're giving them something of value. Third, it's not worth doing the business if it's going to create a negative review. So showing up on time and making sure they have an opportunity to fix it. This will walk them through tons of different scenarios, and it's just basic things, the simple things without sending them into an attic or basement or something. Okay? All right. So that's local listings. There are multiple steps on that. Normally with local listings, you got to go pay every single one of those listings, whatever their subscription fee is. We buy them in bulk. So we'll say I want 100 accounts with this, 100 accounts with this, 100 accounts with this. So we get really, really reduced rates, which is why we can do all 70 local listings for $200 a month. That includes everything. That's the setup, the optimization, the monitoring those for duplicates, the suppressions, also monitoring and sending real-time review notifications. And in addition, those listings are only valuable if you're adding content to them regularly. So we also update content regularly. So that's an easy no-brainer, get it out of the way. Next, reviews. This is, I would say, after this infrastructure is done, the most important thing to concentrate on because it is the largest exit or off-ramp you could imagine. You could perform incredibly. Your marketing company could be doing everything right, and you can have negative reviews that absolutely will burn your results. You will burn through every penny you spend. You guys, when you're buying things, you guys look at those stars, right? Yeah.
Yes.
They are everything. They are everything, especially with Amazon and stars and the reviews and everything. I mean, 90% of consumers are going to make a decision to even pick up the phone or call you or submit a form before they've even talked to you. You're not even going to have an option to present. When you look at your website traffic data and you have this mass amount of traffic and no business that comes from it, that's one of the causes. That will do that. I had a client yesterday. He's on page 1 of Google, 120 phrases. Hey, Bird? 142. And if you go look at it, he has 1 negative review on Google Business Listing, and it's a 2-star. They're out. He's got the traffic, but they're out the second they go do any research. The consumers are not moving forward. Everything is right other than he is not focused on getting reviews. Now, that being said, give me I'm going to use this one because it's the one I know off the top of my head. All right. So, and okay, I love this. So, Weathers. I should probably close some screens. Okay. Reviews, you have to do it. It's not going away. It's not changing. Consumers are going to trust somebody else's opinion more than your own. B, you guys are probably getting targeted by a ton of companies that sell review acquisition systems or sites. There's lots of them. Review Buzz, Customer Lobby. There's a whole bunch of them that are out there. There is only one review system that can kill multiple birds with one stone. It's called Nearby Now. The system itself, let me see here. The system itself will allow you, every time you go on a job, you have your phones, and every time you get to a location, the first thing you do is check in on your phone. You literally tap a button, you can take a picture, you cannot take a picture. Your phone will automatically know exactly where you are. Let me not touch that Wi-Fi because I didn't like that again. Okay, your phone will automatically know where you are, and instantaneously, it's going to pin you on a Google map in a different city, wherever you went to do the work. When you get done with the job, you simply ask the client while you're there, looking into their retina and their soul, would you mind if I sent you a quick text message, leaving me a love note? I've had people do lots of things. Okay. All right. And ask them for a review while you're there. Don't leave a home without it. I mean, it's got to do everything you can to get all your technicians, all your installers to get those reviews while you're on site because it's gold. It's a permanent asset. It works forever, and it'll actually make you money as well as save you a lot of time and energy and losing business. What we do, we take those reviews, and every time you get a new review, we go create a new page to put in that big file drawer. This time the page is focused on what? City. It's focused on location. So if your office is here, but you want to do business here, Google's not going to recognize that unless you put what in the drawer? Need a new page. Okay? So here, the focus is city first, service second. City first, service second. City first, service second. You can have unlimited reviews. Great part is you don't have to pay $100 a pop for content because your clients and your team produced it. And it's endorsed by Google because it's pinned to the map with a positive review. And if they're not happy when you ask them, don't ask them. Right? You have some control over it. So you say, would you mind if then they're like, no, I'm really irritated with it. And you're like, oh, never mind, my phone's broke. I have a different solution for that. Yes.
When they enter for their warranty registration, aren't they asked, the homeowner, aren't they asked on the Amana website then for a review.
Here's the difference. Sorry, no offense. That benefits their website, not your rankings. That will not make your phone ring. That'll help you close more business when you have it.
But my point is, can't
Mhm.
we take that review written by a real customer and put that into their website?
Now it's duplicate content. So you cannot transfer content from one location to another location or you'll get penalized with duplicate content penalty. No thieving content. So it has no value.
How do those sites work then that say, you get a review here, we'll put it on all the...
They should not do that. That's not smart.
Okay.
So if a company tells you we will submit this review to all these sites, you tell them jump in a lake because that's duplicate content and you'll hurt my business. But they'll take your money for it. I can do that with my eyes closed with cron job. A developer can write in 5 minutes, but I would never do that.
So basically
Yes.
what you're saying is that if we had a Google review, we can't take a review on Better Business Bureau. And they want to duplicate that and put it on Yelp, put it on Google, all that stuff.
You will get in trouble. You will get penalized from Google eventually. It's not if, it's when.
Well, and it's not that the police come, it's just that you're not gonna rank.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's not gonna help. Okay.
Yes. So gray list penalty means that your rankings tank. A blacklist penalty means they know the name of your company and where it's located. They do a search and you don't come up. And we've had to remove those before. That's a dangerous. We've literally had one company that had to rebrand their entire business because when they came to us, they had thousands of pages of duplicate content that have been penalized over and over again, and their site was blacklisted. So no. So you got to go by the book. Okay. Now, reviews balancing and leveling is different. If a review comes in, our team strategically knows, where do I need the review? Well, for you guys right now, I will say I wouldn't put the review there. Same thing with this one. So here, I'm not worried about your website yet. I don't want the review on your website. I'm not worried about city pages yet because I can have all those city pages you can rank and lose the business because of this one. Because if Google Business, when this is just searching for your company, that's what consumers see. It's strong as day. Google Business Listings owned by Google. Google is God, and consumers pay close attention to this. So what I would say is you ask for all those reviews, and we route them here until we get this math to change. So you're going to need 14 reviews in order to change this, and they got to be 5 or 4.5 stars or higher in order to change the math. And once that's done, it's different. Now, if I am looking, you have other calculations that need to come into play. So if I look for AC repair, Watertown, see, nothing. See if I can, okay. So, everyone's in the same bucket. This is the beauty of HVAC. We can make a lot of progress in a short amount of time because not very many are doing well digitally. So, normally, you wouldn't be able to get into this bucket with 2 stars if these guys had significantly more stars, but no one does. So in order for you to play this game, what I would say is you need a buffer, and the buffer, this is your marker. You need more than 9 stars, and you need higher than a 4.5 in order for you to win this game. So if somebody is searching for AC repair in the city you're physically listed, then you win the business, and you've got a little bit of space in between the competitors and you, so you're not going to lose this because that's a moneymaker. Does that make sense? Same thing with you guys.
This is Bob Clucker right here.
Hi, darling. I'm talking about you. You want to come sit with me? You want to come sit with me?
You just started on this, one example, and she's been going for 2 hours. Right, Rob?
You're just the one.
I guess so, yeah.
No, you better go.
Put your seatbelt on. Okay.
So here's the difference. Okay, this is my first client in HVAC, almost 12 years ago now. They've been with us for a really long time. So they have 134 reviews sitting on Google. We also have them sitting on Nearby Now. We also have them in Review Buzz. We also have them on Yelp and local listings and everything else. They win every time. Every time. In addition to being page 1, position 1 for the main services they sell. In addition to, these guys haven't quit. So The way they sell, very slick. They're in New York, so it's a little different business model. In different areas, like in California, we're heavily focused on like earthquake shutoff valves. There's different kinds of search phrases that will get us in the door. So here, oil to gas conversions, these guys have been with us so long and they've followed the process. They keep adding more and more content. So you'll notice here, for this search phrase, they don't have one page per service in the drawer. They have 1, 2, 3. Then we're using our sites 4, 5, and 6. He basically had a partner he didn't want to see anymore and asked Mike to pop his tires. And we said no, but we can probably move him off the page 1. So we had to get a little creative, but that will work. Okay? Another version is, we'll go grab this one. So these guys, same thing. They didn't just do it once. So this is about doing the right things in the right order at the right time. But this is also about, on a quarterly basis, or at least spring and fall, every time we get together, we have a strategy session. That strategy session includes 3 things. Number 1, what's working? Do more of that. Don't keep doing just that. Do more of that. If that makes you money, add more to it. Add more phrases, add more services, add more locations. Keep doing it. Number 2 is, what's not working? Probably should reallocate it to something that is. Don't just do it just to do it. And the third piece is, what's next? I have a group of clients that master that, and I have a group of clients that refuse to. Their success, selling the same product, same service, sometimes even in the same area, is substantially different over the long run. It's easier to quit and think you can get it faster somewhere else than stick to it and keep adding. So here, what you'll get out of 182 pages, page 1, position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, game on. Now, here's a big difference as well. So this is a company that very, very good at what's next. So I'm pulling up their site so you can see the way their site displays. It's different. What do you notice that's different between this one and the one I showed you before? So here's this one. And which one do you think consumers are attracted to? That's called Schema, and it's for HVAC, and it's new, and it's time. Schema. It's a way of coding the website where you take the cumulative total reviews and display them in a coding structure on every page on your entire website. So no matter what page, so if I go grab this, I'm going to grab this label, remember green hang folder, drop this in here, out of 241. That's a big label. Most people aren't going to search for all that, right? And they will sit at page 1, position 1 and 2. Let's get rid of furnaces. Now, this is, the longer you stick to this, and the more you focus on continuing to add and continuing to grow and continue to develop instead of scrapping and starting over and over again, you can do this over time. Okay, next one. So this website has enough strength that this page is now ranking page 1, position 1 for remove furnaces. Let's get rid of specials. Page 1, position 1. Let's get rid of rebates. Page 1, position 2. So one page over time, if you have a strong site, Google has said thumbs up, I rank the site as an A, you can have one website occupy more search positions with one page. You won't be able to do that out of the get-go if the site's not strong to begin with. If you don't have all the basics done, you won't be able to. Yes?
Jen, does it matter as far as your results, what position you're in?
Yeah, so without schema, without these star rankings, page 1, position 1 captures 18% of the organic results. Position 2 is 8%. Position 3 is 5%. Position 4 is 3%. And position 5 and on is it's 1% down the board. With schema, which is the star rankings, we've been able to get a site that is sitting on a page 1, position 5 to rank in 30% of the conversions on a particular page. and the only way we can measure it is to compare it to our own. So we have to have all of our own sites on one page for one search, and then we can actually do a conversion comparison. With schema, they're converting much higher than the ones that are without it, meaning the stars are showing. Make sense? All right, so reviews. It'll give you new content. If you do it right, it can help you build city pages. If those city pages rank on page 1 of Google, then you're making money because you went out and got a review, not because you paid for marketing. Make sense? Okay. Next, social media. It is what it is. No way. Okay, social media, you got to play that game. That is the way that consumers look to see if you're transparent. Step 1, simple. You got to have a business page on Facebook. That's the first social media site. Let's go to Elk Grove. Okay. Usually when we get somebody's social profile, our first step is to make sure that it looks like they're open. That often looks like they've had a closed business for a while, and it's an exit they don't even pay attention to. Consumers leave, they don't contact because don't look active in a social metasphere, and that's important to them from a trust factor. So secondly, it's professional design, making sure that the graphics and images and everything, that there's some professionalism to them. You guys are selling a product it's not $10. There's some weight behind the investment people need to have to purchase what you have. You've got to have let me back up. In addition to that, your customers are looking for things that are more advanced, right? They want home automation. They want to be able to control their thermostats from their phones. They want to be able to monitor their house. I mean, they want this stuff, but then they go to a website and it doesn't look current at all. It doesn't look futuristic. It doesn't look new. It doesn't look easy. They're out. So design all the way around, we've got to make sure it's professional. We're forward thinking, and we need to start thinking about that. The home automation, ease of life, making it easier on families, maintenance plan, pitching it as you don't have time for this stuff. Let us take care of it so you can focus on your family. Your number of free minutes is already limited. We can help take care of this. Think about people. All right. So from a social media standpoint, first is make sure that you got it set up. You have professional design, it's optimized, and then basic content frequently, so that it's current and active. Then you're not going to lose business from it. When you have some other things in place, we make a lot of money on Facebook. We build a lot of business, but then you're in a different world. You have a boosting budget. We have campaigns. We're doing giveaways. We're doing promotions that are actually generating new business. So can you use social media to generate new business? Absolutely. Shoot, we had one, we posted a picture of a dog with floppy ears laying on the couch, just looked miserable. And boosted this post. I think this was in Florida, and oh my gosh, I think it said something like, "I'm so hot, it's so hot, my dog is melting. Don't forget to turn up your air conditioning system or whatever." There was 3,000 comments on this. 16 leads came in for service calls where somebody said, "Do you service this area? Do you service this area? Do you service this area?" And there were 45 pictures of dogs that people had taken pictures of their dog and posted on this thread saying, "My dog is melting." They were in pools and bathtubs. They were spraying them with hoses. Who knew that floppy-eared dogs were that important? And you got to do something different. So you can do that. Being entertaining, you'll see a lot of our posts. I love these guys because sometimes we're stuck by what our clients will allow us to do. On this one, I think there was an image we did that performed really well. It was a lady standing in the wine aisle, and it said, "I'm looking for a wine that will pair well with my allergy medication." And then it said, "There's a better way." It depends how cool, you got to be a little relaxed. But people share that. They thought it was funny, so it was entertaining. They shared it. It's not always the same jury thing. So, social media. This next page is your money-making page. All we did was cover the no-brainers. You got to have them in place. It is what it is. Our hour was spent with the basics that have to be in. I know. Just the basics. So the challenge with most businesses, just bring it out, is in order to get up to speed with the infrastructure, if you don't have the reviews, this is not going to perform well. If social media sites are dead in the water and it drives people away, this is not going to perform well. If your website is a turnoff, this is not going to perform well. You can be spending money on pay-per-click, and if reviews are bad and your website scares them, it's not going to perform well. So these things have to be done first. The challenge is when you look at this, start spreading resources across. So we've tried to get this page as inexpensive as possible to be able to get it done. I mean, dirt, rocks, we can do this because it has to get done. But we know where you make money. It's on SEO, blogging, having constant email marketing, text message marketing, leveraging your database, staying in touch with that database, pay-per-click, video marketing, and everything else. That's where the money is. That's the gold. The more phrases you rank page 1, position 1 for. I think so. He has one. Yes, Mike has one. If you'll leave your card as well, then, so on a side note, if any of you guys have to go, we will do a complete evaluation of where you're at. I did not rip your website to shreds.
Well, that's fine.
But I will on a webinar.
Not enough time today.
Okay.
We're gonna sneak back in just to make sure.
So Pat will organize a meeting with you, and we'll run every one of these reports, do a deep analysis, and we'll help you prioritize this list. Phase 1. Okay? Whether you use us or use somebody else, it doesn't matter. But we'll help you prioritize. And then just know, next spring, next fall, you got what's working, do more of it. What's not, get rid of it, move it to something that is, and what's next? What am I not doing yet that I should be doing? Okay?
Thank you very much.
You guys are good. So we're done. So
Do a little wrap, Jen.
all right.
Okay.
So
Then we're gonna bring up Ben.
okay. So I could talk for like 25 days. Sorry.
That's good.
I'm sorry. Okay. So here's how this works, you guys. Sign up with, make sure Pat has your information. TSM to make sure Pat has all your contact information as well in case you have a dealer you want us to run reports for and give them to you. You guys should have those. I mean, it's
Pieces of software that you can purchase and you can use for designing, for doing heat counts, for doing your duct loads, and putting all this other information together. But Goodman and Amana partnered up with RightSoft a little bit over a year ago. And what they challenged RightSoft with is we want a unique tool that's available only for our dealers that is going to help the dealers when they go into the home. And so this software is a unique tool that's been put together for you guys. And it has been put together in a way that works well with homeowners. Just to give a little bit about my background, I did work for Design Air, but before then, I worked in a training capacity, doing a lot of business training. And where I first got my start in the HVAC industry was actually in the field, doing in-home sales, working with homeowners. And I did have the privilege of working with Jim Ryan,